I'm sure a great many of us played sports in high school. Some probably played even in grade school and just moved up throughout the years. Personally, I never really thought I'd join a sports team. Being raised by an 80s punk, sports were never really encouraged at home, but then again, they just weren't really talked about. The only thing that I always remember hearing about as a kid, sports-wise, was how much my dad loved soccer and how much he detested football. That was about it. Tried my hand at soccer, failed miserably in grade school. So, didn't really think it was in the cards for me. I had my first skateboard at the age of 2 and my first tennis racket at the age of 16. But regardless, both became incredibly dear to my heart. Tennis, while a newfound passion, is something I want to keep enjoying as I grow. Perhaps by telling you about one of my greatest loves, I can help you enjoy something that helped me get through some of the hardest years of my life. First, we're going to look at the history. Let's start kind of towards the beginning. So, what we now know as tennis, in England was originally known as lawn tennis, and typically that name is still used. But in England, it was predominantly played by Victorian ladies and gentlemen, and not really a public thing, because those were the only people who could afford all the materials that it took. And it was just a high-class sport. But, c'est la vie, right? However, this sport actually originated in France. The earliest origins can more or less be traced back to 12th or 13th century France in a game called Jeu de Paume, or the Game of the Palm. This game is actually still played, but it's all just slightly different. Jeu de Paume is what we now know as court tennis, which is what is typically played in America. Let's look at some more recent history. How about the Battle of the Sexes? In 1973, one of the most historic tennis matches took place. Billie Jean King, a 29-year-old woman tennis player, and 55-year-old Bobby Riggs, the #1 male player at the time, faced off. Billie Jean actually ended up winning this match after more or less a couple years, bare minimum, several intense months of press. Both were just battling it out in the press well before they even reached the court. Bobby Riggs spent these months determined to undermine King at every opportunity. He claimed that there was no way she could beat him, and he was wrong. Billie Jean ended up absolutely wiping the floor with Bobby Riggs, and he had to eat everything he had said about not only Billie Jean, but women players. This was a huge step for female tennis players all around the world, and this is a match that we all look back on with pride because it made a huge difference for all of us. Now, historically, this game has been for the wealthy, especially men. How about we talk about more recent amazing players? Currently, one of the absolute best all-time players is Serena Williams, and personally, I am honored to be a player while she's still in the game. That is an absolutely amazing thing for me, being able to watch her career while mine is, well, not a career, but while my beginning with the game is starting. Serena is the highest ranking female tennis player of all time right now, with 23 Grand Slam single titles. Now, the former champion, now second in line, is Miss Steffi Graf. She has 22 Grand Slam singles. Those two competed neck and neck for a while. Not really, literally, considering Steffi retired well before Serena even started her career, but their numbers were competing for a very long time. There's so many sports to choose from, and not everything is for everyone, but tennis is an amazing sport, and I really hope that at the very least, the drama of the background behind this game might make some of you a little more interested. Not only have female players fought so hard for the right to be on the court, but even the history with male players alone is just full of hilarious gaffes and dramatic fails and amazing unexpected wins. If you have the right team and if you go in the right headspace, it's a game you can really love, and I hope you give it a shot.